and no one told me, but my volume was muted. So yes, once again, welcome everyone to episode 3 of Exploding Dice Plays Jade Regent here on the Exploding Dice channel. Tonight we're drinking in honor of Ashley, and hopefully she will be back with us next week. But let's while I take a sip of this, why don't we go ahead and announce and have our players introduce themselves as always and tell us a little bit about who they're going to be playing in this campaign. So we'll start right over here to my right with Mr. Trendane.
Oh, that would be me. Hi, I'm Trendane. I'm playing Balin Koth, the human fighter guy, former crime boss enforcer. Not a crime boss. He was an enforcer for a crime boss. Now he had to make a quick escape from the city of Riddleport to the north and finds himself here in the delightful city of Sandpoint with a few compatriots who have recently become part of his social circle, of which there was virtually only one, but now there's several, and possibly a rogue, which he kind of doesn't like, but is kind of infatuated with. And so we move on to Spider-Man.
And before we jump over to Adam, I just want to thank you so much, Missile Monkey, for following. Welcome to the madness, my friend. Adam, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us who you're going to be playing?
I'm Adam. I'm going to be playing Xantor, Druid. He knows much about nature, very little of city life, city things, food, discovering alcohol for the first time, enjoying his time in Sandport, making good friends with people who provide him with all the alcohol. And he recently had his the fortunes read to him, and kind of discovered more about himself and the trials that he may soon face, and he's just hoping to, maintain and overcome and be better all for it. And if not, at least there was beer.
That's a good motto. I think we should all live by that motto. And let's just move right down onto the end to Chris. What's going on, man? Who are you going to be playing for us tonight?
I am continuing to play a very sullen dwarf at the moment. He has come to Sandport on a mission of some urgency and run into a fairly large roadblock, given that the person he came to meet has died. So he has been kind of lost at the moment and is using a drink to find solace in and share that with a druid who is very fun to get drunk around. So, that's where we start. Or started. Left
and
off.
let me just put on some music here, some fantasy music, because I know the Veracine Busker is a little bit too it's a little bit too somber for me. So as we kind of pick things up, actually before we dive into things, I do want to hit a few quick announcements before we get into our recap. If you guys are already followers and you have been enjoying the show, I encourage you to continue supporting the show on Patreon. You get your name in that little ticker that is down below me on the other side of the screen. All the way over there, so everyone can see how awesome you are. And also, I just updated the Patreon with awesome new. It's somewhere up there or down. I don't know. It's in a direction. I just updated the Patreon with new new rewards and stuff that will hopefully help our patrons interact with the game a little bit more. So you guys should definitely consider supporting that. Every dollar helps, and it goes to making the show even better. Wormdrink says, someone is missing. Yes, we are absent in Ashley today. Unfortunately, she has some family and health problems dealing with right now, but it's nothing major, and hopefully she'll be back next week. But we will be enjoying our alcohol and enjoying our D&D in her honor tonight. So, That out of the way. What happened last week? Well, as we come hot off the heels of the Swallowtail Festival that had been... It was going pretty well. You guys took on some challenges, you played some games, you met some people, but then, just as the sun was setting, things took a turn for the worst as the Swallowtail Festival was attacked by many goblins. They injured some people, they managed to light some buildings on fire. You're not quite sure the extent of the damage, but basically they brought the festival to a crashing end. And you guys jumped to your feet and helped fight the goblins off. You fought some in the town square, and you also fought some up at the town gates, where you rescued Sandrew from a particularly nasty one. And so, as you did, you kind of were recognized by a few people as somewhat of a hero figure in town. And wow, this music is really, really soft. You were recognized as a little bit of kind of a hero figure in town. You were given free room and board at the Rusty Dragon, and you were asked to see Baylor Hemlock, the sheriff, first thing in the morning. And when you did go to visit Sheriff Hemlock, that was after a night of very heavy drinking. You visited Sheriff Hemlock, and he basically inquired as to what your plans were in town and how long you had intended on staying. And he said, since you've already essentially volunteered in a small way to protect the town, he requested that you continue protecting it by helping him investigate the source of the goblin attacks. You pried a little bit into local goblin lore and learned that... do you remember what you guys learned? Yes? Does anyone want to share? just a head nod.
I was behind the bar serving drinks. I don't think.
No. This is the next.
Not
this
the
is
next day.
morning.
You weren't.
We know that
I was there.
goblins make a nice paste, and they do go splat very easily, and they don't taste good.
We knew that, or rather, we were informed that there was a guy at the stables who knew more about goblins than just about anyone else in town. So we went to speak to him. He informed us of the very tribal nature of the goblins and the inter between them, because they don't really care for each other all that much, and that if there was any way that someone could bring them all to bear on this town at one time, something that would be able to make them all work together, that would be something very substantial indeed. And the only person who has not yet been accounted for is, unfortunately, Amiku's father, and who was supposed to be at the festival and was not.
Mm-hmm.
And we are on his way to his villa to the south of Sandpoint.
Yeah. So you guys kind of posited that. Actually, it wasn't just your intuition alone. If you remember, Davern Hosk, the stable manager, he kind of voiced his opinion that he thought that Lonjiku Kaijitsu, Ameko's father, may be up to no good, and so he said something about that, and you guys used that as sort of all the impetus you needed to go visit his manor, which lay across the bay on the other side. So you guys were, as we open this session, you guys are approaching the front door of this large manor. And let me just get to my my appendix here, and I will...
That would be in the lower right portion of your
it's
abdomen.
right
Didn't know
down
you
there.
were a doctor.
I was a medic in the army.
Well, I meant him, but that's interesting.
Oh,
All right. So as you arrive at the manor, it's actually this one. This manor, you can see, seems to be the smallest of the large noble estates that are kind of overlooking Sandpoint from this cliff across the bay. Yet this manor is clearly very opulent. You can see the Asian decorations, the designs and the carven wooden posts, and stuff. It's very exotic and impressive furnishings on the front lawn and around the estate itself.
Has he hired gnomes to just stand around and pose?
There don't seem to be
Maybe
any
not that up.
gnomes. No.
So not that rich. Okay.
Little gnomes painted in silver and gold paint.
Yeah.
Lawn gnomes.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was the joke.
Joke.
You're being serious.
So you guys are making your way through the kind of the metal trellis gateway here and up to the front door, I assume. Did you intend to just knock on the door?
I was planning on it. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Oh, yeah. So you
Yeah.
no, sorry. I was expecting you to say something. So you make your way up to the door and you just kind of knock. There's a pause as you're just sort of standing in front of these large carven wooden double doors. Probably a minute goes by, then maybe another one. And then as you're kind of entering like the third minute of just sort of standing here, you hear a kind of a heavy bolt unlatching sound and a creaking sound as one of these heavy wooden doors creaks open. And as it's kind of pushed outwards, you see a kind of an older man, a little bit hunched over, dressed in like a black overcoat, standing there. He says, "Yes? How can I help you?"
what is Amiku's father's name again?
Lonjiku.
Lonjiku?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. We are here to see Lonjiku.
The master of the house is not available at the moment. He is very ill.
Ill in what way?
He has requested no visitors as he is dealing with a fever and a flu. Is there a message I can relate to him?
You're quite fortunate that we have an especially talented druid here who could probably take care of such an illness. We would like to see him immediately.
I could heal him and fix anything that's wrong with him.
I understand, but I have my directions. He is to receive no visitors.
I'm going to try to persuade him to let us in.
How do you want to
You
do
should let
that?
us in. I'm going to lean in really close.
I will step back and defer to my colleague so that he can move in.
I'm going to lean in really close, like just get really close into his face and be like, I have magic and I can make him better. Anything that's wrong with him, I can do. Yeah, just like that.
Oh, man. Thank you, by the way, thank you, Nerd Immersion, for the host. And thanks for hanging out with us, man.
Thank you.
So go ahead and roll me a persuasion check. We'll see.
All right. Never get to use this.
He's gonna persuade himself to walk away.
14 ain't bad.
So you kind of lean in and you just kind of softly say, to let you in. The butler is kind of standing there. He hasn't really moved. He says, "Unless you bring official town business, you are not on the list of approved visitors."
Does it help that Sheriff Hemlock asked us to come?
Do you have any written documentation?
It's a little bit busy trying to put the town back together after the goblin attack yesterday. Didn't exactly have a lot of time to give us a writ.
Can I see past him into, like...
Yeah.
I mean, What can I do a perception to see what I see?
Are you looking for anything in particular, or you just want to get a glimpse
Yeah,
of the room behind him?
I want to see like is does it look like anyone's been home? Does it like is this guy just like even paying attention, or is he just kind of blankly answering our questions? And
Okay,
is there
so
another way into the house?
so okay, so that's three different checks there. You're welcome to make a perception check to see what you can see through the doorway, to see if it looks like the house is like, if anyone's been through here recently. If you want to try and figure out like whether he's kind of trying to brush you off, or whether he's what's going on behind his head, in his head, that would be an insight check. And if you wanted to try and find another way in the house, that you'd probably have to do some walking around and.
I'm gonna do an insight check.
Okay, roll me an insight check to see if you can gather any information about him.
I got confused, and then I turned around
You
and walked
forgot
away.
your own
No,
name.
it's
For your time, sir. And then I just start walking down the hill. All right, guys, we gotta go back to town.
no. As far as you're aware, he is. I mean, he has no reason to hide anything from you. Like as far as you're aware, he's just doing his job.
Worst rolls ever.
He kind of he looks down. He says, "Between you and me, and because I appreciate the sheriff attempting to protect our city, I have children, you understand. The master elected not to visit the festival, but the people in town do not regard him very well. His presence at the festival, he feels, would have been bad for everyone. He has not been the same since his wife died.
How long ago was this?
A little more than 5 years ago.
Since we are speaking so freely with one another, I should tell you that there are several people who we spoke to at the festival who found it very odd that your master was not present. So regardless of how he may feel about his own presence and how it might affect people, thought it strange that he was not there, not representing his family, their interests, his businesses in town.
Yes, they have spoken such things for a long time. Ever since the mistress died, rumors and stories have been on people's minds, but I believe I know my lord well, and he is no such person. His only interests these days are his business.
If I may be blunt, I would state that believing that absence of a business owner would be better for business is foolhardy in the least and insanity at worst. Getting out in amongst the public is the only way to shed himself of whatever rumors there might be. The longer he remains in mystery, the worse it is going to get. He needs to stop this now. But that is not why we are here. This is not it is a social call, but it is also more of a professional call. We need to know what he may know about this goblin attack. And if you are going to make us go back and get a writ to come back and talk to your master, that's fine. I'll do that. But when I come back, I won't be nearly so cheery as I am right now.
My friend, I assure you, there is nothing. Actually, you know what? Roll me an intimidation check, please.
Oh, I forgot to open my character sheet this whole time. I was like, what am I missing? I know I'm missing something. Character sheet. Intimidation. Whatever that is, I can't see it.
That is a 20.
Okay.
He says, very well, I will. I'm sorry. He says, I will. Please follow me into the foyer. I will see if I can persuade him to address you for as long as he will. But I do warn you, he has a fickle temper.
I can cure him of whatever he's sick of too.
All right. So as the very, very slowly, this kind of old man will push the door open a little wider and kind of turn his back, sort of leading you guys into the dark foyer inside this manor. You can see from inside the room is fairly well appointed. Again, more kind of Asian or Oriental design tapestries, carvings, and kind of decorative pieces along the walls and stuff. A lot of them you assume just by the way they're displayed. I mean, it's culture that none of you particularly like. I say Asian because that gives you an idea of what it looks like, but none of you have actually really experienced much of TN culture. It's pretty foreign to most of you. So it looks very, very exotic in here. And as he leads you, he says, "Please wait here." And then he kind of starts making his way up the stairs.
Keep your ears open for any breaking glass.
Can I roll a perception to see if I see any, or it would be nature, any like exotic plants that I might recognize?
Okay, are you looking for anything in particular? Or are you just trying to get an idea of like his potted plants, like his foliage?
I want to know what this foliage is, and then if I see anything of use, I might snip a piece here or there for later use.
Okay, roll me a nature check.
Jesus. All right, so I'm no longer a druid.
These, I mean, as far like honestly, you've seen them before in civilized places because you've spent some time away from your tribe for a while. But as far as you can tell, most of these, exotic as they are, like there are a couple bonsai trees, maybe some bamboo, that kind, like potted bamboo, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Nothing that you really recognize or know of any use for. Why did our music go away? Come on, music. There we go.
As we're walking through, is there anything?
Sorry, go ahead.
What's up?
It's like as we're walking through, is there anything that would lead us to believe that there may be something unusual going on?
That depends. What would lead you to believe that?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. Do we notice anything that this is a trap or there's something suspicious?
There's a giant
sullen
calamari man.
Servants skulking around, giving us weird glances. Is the doorman dude?
Roll me a perception check.
There's a giant fish man in the corner. It's like, it's a trap.
Right. You don't actually see any other servants. I mean, after the butler kind of makes his way up the stairs, it's kind of just you guys, like, alone in this room for a couple minutes. It is kind of like the corners are kind of dusty, almost as if the butler probably doesn't clean nearly as well as he should. But you also get that like there are draping covers over. Like the dining room you can see is just off to the left, and it looks like all the chairs and the table are covered in cloth as if they've not really been used in a while.
And this is a
Not-
fairly large house. Like, it would
Yeah,
need more than
yeah.
one person to maintain it properly.
It's
That's some-
it's a manor. I mean, you're not sure how many servants could fit in here, but it's bigger than any house you've ever lived in.
So there's not some creepy old unwashed woman who's been wearing a wedding dress for the last 30 years sitting in the corner with a
No,
partially cut
there
wedding
there
dress.
is, but you know that's just Gladys.
Okay, just checking.
No,
Getting a Miss Havisham feeling from this.
You
Miss
you after a few minutes, you hear kind of like slow, heavy footsteps, and appearing at the top of the railing. Wow, I don't like this music. Appearing at the top of the railing is an older man. Age, it looks like age has not been kind to him. His features are very clearly of the same ethnicity as Amiko. His clothing is lavish, but not like, it doesn't look like he's prepared for a day on the town. It looks more like expensive clothes that someone would wear around their own house. Just like a long shirt with kind of brocading and stuff like that. And he's got graying hair, lines crisscrossing his face, and his expression is very, very sour. And as he leans kind of on the railing, about a floor above you, he looks down, he says, "I did not want to be disturbed, yet here you are, insisting to see me.
I heard you were sick and I can help.
I do not need help from wandering curs like you.
What is a cur?
It is a dog."
I don't have the ability to turn into a dog just yet, but eventually I will.
Generally, it's meant with disrespect. It's not a nice thing to call someone.
Oh. Okay, well, I'll let you handle this not nice guy.
We'll test our hostly abilities and see if he's anything more than an asshole. Your daughter sends her regards. Also, Sheriff Hemlock has asked us to look in on you, see why you were not at the festivities yesterday, and if you know anything at all about the actions of these goblins who have attacked the town, but apparently not your house.
Yes, I heard about the disruptions. I assume you are not knocking on every other noble's door and asking why their house is also not damaged.
Should we do that?
Well, only the ones who were not at the festival. Can you tell me
Just
which
you.
of your neighbors were not at the festival also?
If you were there, you would know there was neither myself nor any member of the Scarnetti family. If
You
there
were
is
going to say-
anyone wrapped up in criminal dealings, it is them.
Can I do something to detect whether he is lying or trying to misdirect us in any way?
Yeah, you can make
I
an
was
inside
muted.
check.
Well, shit. I
I'd
hate
like
you,
to
Adam.
do the same because I said that at the same time, but I was muted.
That's
Can I
fine.
do it? Check.
Yes, you're welcome to make an inside check.
Come on, Dice Thulu. Yeah.
It's much better.
So Adam, you or Xantor, you can tell that he's clearly upset, but his tone, you've definitely heard people take this tone before. The way he's kind of spitting his words at you almost make it seem like he's more genuinely upset that you're actually here accusing him of something than the fact that, like, he's trying to hide doing anything wrong.
All right, sorry. So his ego is hurt more than anything.
He clearly does not like you guys, but then you don't necessarily you're not like he's probably not a people person. But yeah, I mean, he seems to actually be a little bit offended and taken aback by like you actually accusing him, even if it's not
So-
outright.
And by
Could you-
you, he means Balin.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I understand, sir, that we come into your house like a bunch of curs, and maybe you can elaborate on the Scarnetti family and why you think they're worth us looking into.
As he says this, I'm going to kind of slight bow and step back, again deferring to him as though I'm just the enforcer and he's more the boss.
You're gonna like let Xantor stand forward.
Well, I'm gonna, as soon as he starts speaking, I'm gonna like indicate that that's my cue to back up a bit and let him talk. That my job is to get us in the door and to get him talking. Now that the people who are in charge are speaking, now I can step back. That I just want to present that sort of
Yeah, you got
air.
So,
to it.
he kind of furrows his brow. He says, "Of all the people in town you could ask, you choose to pester me. Go chase your." It says, if you want to hunt someone in this town, go chase the ones who are clearly supporting the Cesarni.
Which are?
Titus Scarnetti.
Do you have any proof or any information that would lead us to that?
He kind of like leans his head back for a second, and then, after kind of like probably deep heavy sighing, he just raises his hand like dismissively. He says, I have no more patience for any of you. By the way, Balin, I need you to roll me something.
A 20? Can I roll a 20?
Yeah.
And if you ask nicely.
What would be a good check for this? Because they took away knowledge local. At least, well, okay. So you don't know, how we'll see how much you do know, but your ears in particular kind of perk up, kind of twinge a bit at the mention of the Cesarni. It's
That would probably be a history check,
yeah, sure.
which I have no bonuses for, but we'll see.
That's an
I will
18.
take the 18.
It is a name that you have heard quite a bit back in Riddleport. You don't know a terrible amount about how they operate personally. You know the Cesarni are a Varisian gang.
In my dealings as an enforcer for a crime boss, would I have ever dealt with them at all, even tangentially?
Yeah, probably once or twice. Give me 1 second. I'm just waiting for my information to load. The basic the what you know about them, aside from your actual dealings, is that the Cesarni are a very sort of loose collection of crime families. They're gangs, but they tend to operate more as familial units.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like a mafia thing, where like everyone is related to each other. Almost always Varisian, much like yourself. And they generally operate in fairly significant numbers in the larger cities. But they have dealings really all over. Your basic knowledge is that they're not so much for violent crime. They're more of a kind of a robbery, confidence scheme, swindling type organization.
which, given Balin's violent past, he probably wouldn't have had many dealings with them at all, because he's the crush or cut off the guy's hand kind of guy. Right, gotcha.
High five.
Okay.
All right. So, what do you guys want to do?
Remember, I'm just kind of standing there with my head down, letting you guys take the lead now.
All right, sorry, I'm muted. I've been
Shit. Sorry.
like a crazy person. I wanna. What is this guy's name again? It's not Amiku. It's Jimmy. What's his name?
Longiku.
Steve.
Steve.
Long
You guys,
Johnson.
if you go into your into the thing where your character is, you have a notes thing that you can write notes in. You can fill it in with names and things that you're probably gonna forget.
I got it. Oh, okay, cool. So I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna looking around. I'm gonna say it's very interesting. I'm sorry we came in and maybe have like disrespected your time and everything, but did you bring all of this stuff from, I assume, where you're from into your home? Like the plants and everything like that? Could you tell me more about these plants? And I'm kind of walking up to him to kind of.
He's on the floor above you, on like the balcony.
Oh, yeah. Can you tell me more about these plants?
He kind of looks down at you and says, "No."
Side
Nice,
quest.
succinct answer. No.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess your servant should come and see us out. And I want to do a perception check to see if I see any like loose items laying around that look interesting on the table. Medallions, trinkets.
Sure. You want go? Well, yeah. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Well. I'm gonna put my hands in my pockets.
There's a lot of stuff here. None of it looks like it would be big. It would be small enough for you to kind of just swipe.
I wouldn't steal it. It's not really so much. I'm gonna kind of just shuffle my way through the door, mumbling to myself about learning to turn into a dog and people needing better personalities.
Nah. As I get ready to turn to leave, look up and say, "For what dishonor I may have brought to myself in introducing myself in such a way, I would like to make up for it in some small way by, if you have a message for your daughter, delivering it to her."
He kind of, as he's turning to walk away, he says, "If I had anything to say to her, I would say it myself."
So noted. I'll just turn and walk out.
Is the butler escorting us out the door, or?
He's been standing there. He's kind of looking at you, like he's pretty aware that, because as Longjiku's kind of shuffling away back to the room he came from, the butler's he's just, you kind of look at him. He says, he just kind of nods his head, implying that it's probably time for you guys to go.
By the way, Longiku, if you want, since I am a druid, I can cure you of that nasty disposition you have.
If he heard you, he does not answer.
I can cure you of that nasty disposition you have.
Cricket.
I do not think all the gods in the entire pantheon we have would do that. And I'll walk out the door once everybody else. Well, I'll stop at the door, and once everybody else is out and clear, and the butler, I presume, as we've said, is following us toward the door at least a bit. And once everybody else is clear and the butler's not quite there yet, I'm just going to wham! Slam the door as hard as I can, just short of breaking it.
All right, yeah. The as you slam it in the butler's face, you see him kind of like, you just catch a glimpse of him like grimacing, like wincing a little bit right before the door hits. But other than that, yeah, you slam the door, and you guys are outside.
And you said there's no gnomes.
There are
we can
no,
just like break.
No,
just because
there
my
aren't.
hammer is itching.
There
And a little
are no
itch on the end of the
gnomes.
hammer there. God.
So I guess we need to go check out this Scarnetti family then. They have a house near here, don't they?
Do we know that?
You
don't
haven't
remember
learned.
bringing up-
You don't know really. I mean, you guys may. Some of you who are local may have heard the name once or twice, but you don't really know much about them.
He said you came here and this is the only royal house that you checked. So I had assumed that they were here on this separated piece of land. Right?
I would say that given his apparent disposition towards them, that I doubt that they would be neighbors, but his disposition towards everybody seems roughly the same, so that logic doesn't hold. I've only been in town for about 4 days, so I don't know a whole lot of stuff yet.
It doesn't make sense for us to go back into town. I think this guy's up to no good. I say we circle back around and see what's really going on in there.
And I will look at our young master dwarf. Your opinion?
Nothing at the moment. Nothing would have led me to believe that anything suspicious was going on other than he's just a jackass. So, well, at this point, I have no druthers about where we go, because I don't know where these people are. I don't know who these people are, and we didn't
Well,
get
they
anything useful
are-
out of the other guy.
They are somewhat connected to the crime families up in Riddleport, where I came from.
And what did
All
they?
of them.
What kind of crimes were they involved with? Thievery, buggery, drug smuggling.
Probably a bit of buggery, thievery. Nothing excessively violent. That was my arena.
So the best way, maybe we should pretend to be part of one of the families and see what we can gather.
I highly doubt that will work. They are very well interconnected. We would need many papers that I do not have the skill to forge.
I don't think that's a skill we can learn. Is it? Deception, maybe.
Sleight of hand.
That's taking something without being noticed.
Flash a paper in front of them and move it away. Open them badge real quick.
Look over here!
That's what you just saw.
Well, we could go back to the sheriff's office and try to get more information.
As we go, let's walk along the beach past this other house. See if we can try to be a little bit more
Discreet.
You guys do the talking. I hit things. I don't.
You
You
don't
want
want
people frightened? Talk to me.
to. I'm gonna look over at the dwarf, and you seem to have a knack for the shadows. Maybe this is an opportunity for us to see what we can find in the shadows.
If I had a place to start, that would work.
Like under a tree, or what are you talking about?
We had some people to shake down,
Ah,
Well, my
some
camera's
information to
reversed.
steal.
When I go to talk to Chris, I need to look this way.
yes.
Yeah, sometimes some camera programs do that. I have no idea why.
Huh.
That's why every time I start a live stream, I'm always like, and I'll sort of wiggle a finger so that I can see which way I'm pointing on the stream. And that way I know I need to look this way to talk to this person, and I need to look that. It's just a cheat that I do. I do something.
This is trending. All right.
Is that what you're doing? Are you actually turning to people when you talk to them?
I don't know how you talk to people, but
No,
I
I mean,
like
well,
that.
but it's a camera. Like, they're not actually there when you turn.
Same thing
I
do when
like to
talk you.
believe the world that I'm in is real, so I turn to face my compatriots.
I mean, when
And-
the audience is listening to us, they're not really right there, but
They
you're
actually
not
are.
really
No,
right
they-
there. But I turn to talk to you because
You don't
right
know,
there.
but they're actually all here. They're in my room.
Oh,
That's creepy.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, it gets
So
sweaty,
crowded.
but anyway,
Oh,
what do
smells.
you guys want to do?
So
Assume we'd go back and talk to the sheriff since we have absolutely no. Or we could go back and talk to what's her face at the pub.
Amiku.
That guy, yeah, that girl.
what about your friend at the pub who we rescued? Do you think he might know the unsavory types of this town, or maybe have some connections? Balin?
Amiku is my only friend at the.
The guy that you were making eyes with.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
him.
You know, I don't. There are many verbs that apply to what I want to do to him, with him, whatever. Not many of them are talk. So.
This is a PG-13 show, guys. PG-13.
Uh-huh.
I think we passed that a long time ago.
What you want to do with him?
Do you remember the bush?
You are drinking on this show. So. I mean, I'm drinking water and tea. So anyway, I make up for it by hitting on NPCs. He's really no friend of mine. At best, you know, if I'm going to talk to him, I'm going to tell him that, you know, come tomorrow morning, we're going to get up, we're going to go out into the courtyard, and I'm going to teach him to fight without any fucking weapons, because that is a stupid excuse for not trying to save your own life, or that of your dog. Apparently, you care more about the dog than he does.
I tried. I
Did-
tried. That was very disappointing.
Fists on the end of your arms, you have something to fight with. So I get a little bit upset about shit like that. We can go and talk to him if you want, but don't presume that he is any friend of mine.
Well, I mean, you have some relationships or understanding of how the underbelly, so to speak, works. What do you recommend we do for gathering, or intel as it was?
For right now, as I see it, we have
Long ass wall.
3.
He
just
said
to
we have
get
a
back
long
to-
ass walk.
Oh.
I'm saying we go back to the bar and ask that woman. I keep forgetting her name because of the sheriff's office is a lot farther away.
Not that much further than the thing. But anyway, we have 3 options at this point. One is to go back to the bar and talk to Amiku. Let her know what has happened. Not that I don't think she's going to be able to help all that much.
I don't
2,
think so.
2, we go back to the sheriff. Tell him what we have learned. Could possibly stop at one of these other manors on their way by and see if anybody who lives there knows anything about these families or not. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, if they're that notorious, I'm pretty sure she would know
Probably.
something about them, at least where they live, or where
Or
we
could
can
point us to
contact
someone
the
who
people.
does. Right.
So, from my experiences of living in the woods at nighttime, the creatures that were to be living in nature, living amongst the trees, living amongst the animals, the creatures that were to be feared only tended to come out at night. So maybe what we should do is wait for nightfall and see who we can find, and maybe that'll lead us back to the Scarnetti family.
That is a possibility. But the third option was, this was one of 2 places we could have gone. It was this asshat's house.
We want to check
Yeah.
out his greenhouse, his manufacturing plant. It was
The glass house or something.
the glass house.
The
Yeah, what did I
glassworks.
say? Yeah, isn't that what I said?
Sort of. The glassworks is on the other side of town, but that was the other place that we could check. So those are our 3 options.
We could go there, and then rocks could suddenly hit it.
Accidentally. A small meteor came from. There was a bird carrying a large rock, roughly the size of a pine cone, and dropped it several hundred leagues per second into your window. We don't know what happened. We just saw it.
Go to a local farm and grab a bunch of bulls and bring them with us. We could check there. It'll be a long walk. By the time we get there
That
and
would
get
be a
back,
much
it'll
longer
be
walk.
evening.
I mean, by
It'll
that
be
rate,
evening
we
by
could,
then.
yeah, we could stop at the tavern. We could go to the sheriff's office, and then we could accomplish all three things all in one swoop if we were going to go as far as the glass.
We could stop at the tavern and have more beer.
Could do that, but you wouldn't be doing much else for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the plan, guys? And by the way, thank you so much, Brad Wodo, for hosting. You're my dude.
We need a little Deus Machina to kind of guide us.
Oh well, we'll see if we can work on that. But what is your plan for the moment?
My plan is to try to learn more. Go to the glass house, but also try to learn more about the Scarnetti family. But it wouldn't make sense. Criminals don't destroy what they live in. His whole thing about like the Scarnetti family, which is part of like a gang, they want to prey off people. They're not gonna have goblins come and attack people to murder and kill people. That doesn't fit their normal MO. Most crime groups. Now we're in a cop show or something. Now I don't know. I'm like profiling criminals.
Bring in the spectroscope.
All right, so where do you guys want to go?
There's semen everywhere. Get the DNA.
Let's get a napkin. Do we want to walk back to the city because we can stop at
It's
number
literally
47?
only like it's like two.
Yeah,
2
I know.
minutes walk.
Wait, we could stop at what?
Which one?
Number 47, the manor on the beach, just to the.
What about
east of
48
us.
and 50?
We could stop it there as well. I mean, we could go to each of these
Why don't we
things,
all
walk
pick
up and
one?
say, we can walk up and go, you know anybody in the Scarnetti family? And when they say no, we just leave.
I like that
Or
plan. I like
they
that
open the
plan.
door and we go, Scarnetti, and they're like, oh! And they close the door. We know they're not part of the Scarnetti family. If they go,
Why
what do
don't
you
we
want
each
with
take
it?
a house then and speed this up?
No,
You want-
do not
what-
split the party.
We do not split. The party died that day. I say we all go. We'll
It'll take
start
3 times as long.
We'll start. We'll start at 50, and then we'll do 48 and 47. By the time we hit 47 or 48, it'll be nighttime, and the other elements should be out in town.
3 times as long. These houses are about 150 feet apart. It's not. It's not going to be that big of
Assuming
a
we
deal.
don't get caught in, a conversation with some old
Uh-huh.
woman who needs us to help move her treadmill.
We just
Uh-huh.
burn the house down.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm cool with that.
I'll break their hands. You guys set fire to everything.
I say we
Alright,
hit.
if you guys are going to go to 50, I'm going to go to 47 because going to eat all 3 houses together just seems like a ridiculous waste of time.
Okay.
I'm
Mm,
going to go to 48 actually. That makes more sense on the route. 47 will be last.
just make sure you just
All right, so let's get a decision.
stealth.
You guys have been conversing for a while. So where are
That
you
sounds
going?
like it. That sounds like the decision right there.
What?
The druid and I go to 50. He goes to 48, and then we'll
Yep.
meet up at 47.
Agreed.
Okay. So when you get there, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna knock on the door and then
Who are you talking to?
both of you.
Okay. So, yeah, same thing as before. Just knock on the door as soon as I get there.
Okay.
My job's to get in the door. His job is to talk.
So, all right. So, Xantor and Balin, you guys make your way up north. Let me grab that for a second. As you make your way to the manor at the far end of the cliff, you see sort of this manor is kind of simple, kind of plain, very traditional. Modern modern architecture with a little Varisian flair, which is fairly normal of the of most of Sandpoint. However, you notice something that is reflected in what you saw in quite a few other places in Sandpoint. There are two. There's a wooden stairway leading up to the the deck in front of the door, and the posts on the side of the stair, with these two sort of large tree trunk posts, have been carved into the shape of two very tall birds. It's a very nice carving too. But as you approach the door, you just kind of knock on it. Give me 1 second.
Recognize the type of bird that it's meant to.
If you roll me a nature check, you might.
Oh dear God.
I got you. Don't worry.
Okay.
Let the druid fail once again at his gifts.
16, not bad.
Not bad.
The bird, it's not one that you're familiar with in the sense that you've never really interacted with it.
Then again,
Balin, it's
I didn't roll it.
That was my roll.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Then for the sake, yeah, the same thing. The bird isn't one you've really interacted with. It's a harbor bird that you think is called a stoot.
I look over Balin and I'm like, those are stoots. Those are stoots.
Is that the kind of statue?
The type of bird it is.
Oh. All right.
They're harbor birds.
Like a gull or a pelican?
Yeah. They fly around the area and they eat the fish and they pester people along the coast.
Well,
So
we have them in the middle port, I think. Go ahead.
So as you knock on the door, unlike the other door, it's actually kind of immediate. When someone comes and answers, the door is open. You see a man, probably in his early 30s, open it. He's clean shaven, blonde hair, not lavishly dressed. He's just kind of dressed very plainly, and he opens the door. He kind of looks at you, turns his head to the side, but he has a little bit of a smile on his face. He says, "Hello, can I help you?"
Look down to basically just kind of step back and motion to.
Hi. We are actually trying to find friends of the Scarnetti family. We have something to give them. And then I whisper to Balin's ear, and I'm like, justice.
Well, don't know why you're looking for them here. This is the manor of the Devon family.
Where should we be looking for the Scarnetti family?
There we go.
Well, they have a.
I'm pretty sure we asked what's his name, but go ahead.
But he's a jackass. So.
Yeah.
They have a house just down the road on the right, but
Oh no.
they're not likely to be there.
Where are they usually?
Well, Titus is he runs the Sandpoint Mercantile League, so if he's not doing business with traders and stuff, he's most likely out in the farmlands where he runs various wood mills and wood and grain mills.
What can you tell us about the Scarnetti family?
What would you like to know? They're
So there's Titus. What's his wife's name? Do they have children?
well, Titus.
Do they have any animals?
Titus is the son of Alamon, who he has a bit of a rocky history with the elder folk in the town, but
Elwin does or Titus does?
Alamon Scarnetti, Titus's deceased father.
Oh, he's dead. How long has he been dead?
20 years or so.
Okay, that's cool. What about his wife?
She doesn't spend much time in Sandpoint. As far as I know, she's most often in Magnamar, shopping or acting as an emissary to the. They have more family in Magnamar, you understand. Most of us do.
Do they have children?
Yes, I don't think many of them live around here. Some of them do, I think.
Okay, well, I don't think we should waste any more of your time. Time is precious. I say that we go head to. For some reason, it has a giant 47 on the roof of it.
Mhm.
That was where he directed us to, right?
No, he said it's gonna be on your right.
Oh,
Probably as you're heading
If
away
you're-
from where you are
so
now.
the west.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, 48. What did I say? 47.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I say that we. Well, thank you for your time. What did you say your name was again?
Oh, my name is Aldern. Aldern Devrin. Um, I'm, I'm the mayor's brother.
Oh, well, we work for the sheriff, and we're here to clean up this town.
Well then, no doubt you are friends of Kendra. Do give her my regards if you see her.
Yeah, sure. We'll do that. Um, Balin, are you good?
Hmm.
All right. And then we just kind of shuffle off.
Okay. He will close the door behind you. So as you guys are doing this, Lycon, you went to the other place, right?
48.
Yeah. You knocked on the door and you have not gotten an answer since.
Is there a window or something I can peer through?
There are quite a few windows.
And you
Uh,
can peer through them.
Slowly meander around, acting disinterested, and just kind of glance in to see if I notice anything.
Sure, roll me a perception check.
B and E.
That's persuasion. That's perception. How would I? Wait a minute. There we go.
It is dark inside. You don't see any movement as you kind of peer between the curtains that are sort of drawn on this house. It looks like, for all intents and purposes, there's no one here.
And if it's
Okay.
dark, that means it's evil.
I'm gonna slowly just kind of walk around the back, just kind of acting like I'm on a stroll, just checking out the house. Is there a back door, or do I hear anything once I get around there?
You can kind of make your way around the back of the house. There are other exits. Did you want to try like the first one that you come to?
I want to try the one that's the most secluded and less likely of
Sure.
somebody coming up. on me
You make
and-
your way out, and there is a garden. You kind of have to hop like a hedge fence, which kind of jabs you because it's actually like a hedge that has like a metal fence inside it, so you don't really expect it at first. But as you hop the fence into the garden, there is a wooden door there. As you kind of try the handle, it appears to be locked.
There's no lock picking. I just realized that. What would I roll to try to open the door?
Disable device, I believe.
There isn't one of those either.
That's
It
weird.
would
What-
just be a dexterity check.
Yeah, I believe it's just sleight of hand then, or dexterity.
So which one? Sleight of hand or dexterity?
Give me 1 second.
Are you proficient in sleight of hand?
I am.
Then
I would just roll whatever's higher.
It's a 5 on both.
Oh, my dice
It doesn't
rolls
matter.
are crap, so it doesn't really matter.
I'll just say dexterity for now.
Okay. And I failed. I locked myself outside of the house. Man, it's crappy rolls.
So you're either way. I mean, you don't actually have any thieves tools. So the best you can get is
I don't
kinda,
have any tools listed.
Yeah, so
on
the
this
best you
sheet,
can get
sure.
is kind of trying to find maybe a piece of metal or something you have to jam in there, Jimmy, but it's not doing anything.
Okay, then I'm just gonna slowly walk around the house and walk back out toward the front to leave, since I can't get into it.
Okay. As you make your way around
Elbow.
the front, you see the other two coming down the road.
Nobody's home. Door's locked.
That is
So, why don't we just make a way in?
I mean, I don't even know who lives here. We could be breaking in for no reason. I was just kind
Well,
of curious.
we know that the Scarnetti family lives here, and then I just take a rock and I just throw it at the window.
Okay. there, you pick up a rock and it crashes through the window.
All right. And then I'm gonna look at them guys and be like, well, I found us an entrance. And then I'm gonna just like wrap my hand and like kind of clear out the glass as I try to climb through the now open entryway.
Okay.
I'm gonna look over at Balin and I go, well, we're working for the sheriff, and if we see a suspicious person in this house, I guess we should go and investigate. And I walk to the door and knock on it.
I think
There
I
is
very
still-
much like your logic.
There is still no answer.
I go around and I open the door and I go, yes, there was someone suspicious who just broke this window. We should investigate.
Good afternoon, sir or madam. We would like to speak to you today. Never mind. Go on.
We're gonna walk in and we're gonna like, yes, we should. Let's go investigate so we can report back to the sheriff of this.
Perception
intrusion.
check. What do we see?
Where are you right now? So you broke a window and then what happened?
Broke a window, went to the front door, opened the door, and let them in.
Okay, so you go inside this darkened room, as all the lights seem to be out, and then you go around to the front and you unlock the door, and as the door opens and the light kind of shines in, you guys see that he's sort of standing in the doorway. You can see immediately behind him is a large. Let me see if I'll show you, because that would be better.
Did we find a baby dragon?
Or it's a flesh golem.
Or is it a pile of dead bards?
You find there's on a wooden platform. There's what looks like what might be a statue or something, but it's you guys are kind of taken aback by the shock of seeing this roaring open lion's mouth like a few feet behind his head.
Whose head?
Xantor's.
Is it like a real lion or is it like a statue lion?
It is like a full-size lion, and as you kind of get a view of
a
it,
real lion or a statue
Like a-
lion?
it
Like
doesn't
a
appear to be.
taxidermied lion or like a.
It doesn't appear to be
artistic-
moving, but it is a lion with, you notice, large sort of leathery bat wings that are kind of flared up around it.
The hell is that?
That, can I make I think I know what that is.
You can make
Did
a
Nature Boy
nature
do it?
check if you want.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a nature check too then.
Sure.
Nature, though?
And nature checks all around.
Nature check
Really?
for everybody.
Xantor and Lycon, you have never encountered one of these. You may not have even thought they were real, but you may have heard like tales or legends of them. This is some sort of aberration, like a beast of myth, half lion with bat wings, and if your remembrance follows, there should be a large barbed tail somewhere behind, as you are looking at what appears to be a still but in a fierce roaring position statue of a manticore.
I look over at Balin and I go, "That's a bird. I mean a manicore."
Hmm.
And that's what it looks like.
And
Hopefully
that's what
it's not
that looks.
that big.
No, but it's that's so you guys can see it.
Yeah. Is it stuffed?
Are you asking me?
No.
Oh, okay.
You are a god who runs this universe. I am not asking. I was merely facing your direction because, unlike some other people, my microphone doesn't turn with me. So if I turn to say anything to them, you can't hear me as well. So I have to turn it this way no matter who I'm talking to. Wind has picked up outside. And so, fine, okay. So I'll walk over and and lean in and look at it a bit closer, see if I can find, because there have been plenty of rich families in Riddleport who have had stuffed animals in there, well, taxidermied animals, anything. So I'm trying to find suture points and everything where it's like, the fur has been sewn back together again from and stuffed and whatnot. Which would probably be an investigation check.
We don't have taxidermy check.
No, not in 5e.
So what do you want to investigate?
Checking basically looking over the thing to see if it's got any taxidermy marks on it, sutures and
Sure.
glassed eyes and.
Give me 1 second.
Okay. I'm not going to do well on this roll. I'm not proficient in it.
You're going to roll so high, you're going to break roll 20.
I rolled a 30 on a 1.
Okay. So go. You want to go up to this thing and investigate it. Roll me an investigation check. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see what that is. 15. Okay. How did you want to inspect it in any particular way, or just generally? Like,
He's going to rub it and pet it and
yeah.
call him George.
See if it'll grant me wishes. No. First, the first thing that I would do is kind of lean in and try to look in real close to the eyes and see if they were glass.
mm-hmm.
If the tongue was sculpted clay instead of an actual tongue. If the teeth were, in any way, basically to see if there's actually a throat going down there, or if it's been sewn shut. If there are suture points along, major, like shoulders or along the center line or whatever.
As you
in the fur.
get closer to it, first of all, you realize it's not actually a lion face. It's more of a combination of a deformed lion and a humanoid face. The features are very unnerving. But as you walk up to it,
there's a click.
You're kind of gazing into the eyes. I need you to roll me a perception check.
Okay. Yay! That's
Wow, you can't. You don't even recognize that you're in a house.
I think
You think you're in a
I
porta
think it's
potty.
not a head. What part is this? Is this a hammer? No, those are lips. Oh.
Okay,
You have a
so
banana.
Balin, as you're kind of leaning in, like to examine the eyes and the rest of the face, all of a sudden, the manticore its mouth kind of snaps shut and its head turns towards you as it lurches forward, its wings kind of flaring to life and its tail, like whipping through the air above you. You are just completely startled.
I rolled a 2. Do I notice any of this? Go ahead.
Hey guys, it's just a statue.
No,
Good one, though.
No, you see all of that.
Well,
Like that's
I know.
happening right in front
Well,
of
I
you.
know. I was joking.
Yeah. So what do you do?
I think, what's the word I'm looking for? Backpedal like a son of a bitch, I think is the word that I'm looking for.
I don't know. I'm thinking shit in your pants is probably the way.
Well, I went before we left. So.
All right. So you kind of stumble backwards, and are you gonna like flee out the door, or are you gonna?
Not all the way out the door, but back up far enough that I'm closer to them and bring out the axe like. Gah!
All right. So you guys around Balin, you see him, like you're a couple feet behind him. You see him all of a sudden just start stumbling back and kind of like put himself up against the wall and pull his axe out over his shoulder, and he has just a terrified look on his face.
But the statue isn't moving to us.
You haven't seen it. It hasn't moved.
They haven't. Oh, it hasn't. Okay. You haven't seen it move.
So I guess perception would be what we roll right now.
It depends. What are you trying to do?
What happened to you?
Yeah, we're trying to figure out why he's doing this. So what would we?
Balin,
Like,
you see
I
this.
mean-
You see this thing kind of one paw off the platform, and then another as it kind of flares its wings out wide and lets out a bellowing roar as it stalks towards you.
All right, so he's okay. So let's see. He's obviously freaking out about something. I want to know why, so I guess I will roll a perception to find out if I notice anything as that would make said large burly man piss his pants.
Yeah, can both of you roll me a perception check, please?
That's better.
I'm getting my other hand on the base of the axe and trying to sidle towards the door. So
Mhm.
if
And as I'm looking, I'm gonna look at him and go, "What's the matter?"
Both of you catch the faintest whiff of burning hair, and a second, like just a second later, this thing is taken 2 steps off of the platform. Balin, all of a sudden the manticore bursts into flames and just like a hurtling meteor flies at you. You, I'm assuming, react in the most horrified way possible.
yeah, direct.
Do we see this?
No, you don't see anything. But Balin, as this thing blows past you, I need you to make me a dexterity save.
Oh, goodness. It's gonna be lovely. That
One.
is. Be patient. So close.
Yeah.
All right.
Everybody drink.
So, yes. As we cheer that natural 20,
+1.
you
Well done,
you just managed to kind of throw yourself back out the door flat on the ground, as in your mind this fiery kind of jet of burning, like this burning beast flies over you. You can feel it singeing at your back and kind of burning at your clothes, and it feels like you're under a furnace. You're not gonna take the full burning. I'm gonna give you, we'll say you take like 3 fire damage, which is much less than you would have taken normally. But you guys you catch the whiff of burning hair, and then you see Balin just sort of terrified throw himself out the door and land flat.
On his ass.
You said how many?
All right.
3.
3.
Did he land flat on his back or on his stomach?
On his ass.
On his
Uh,
ass.
I think that was.
He
fairly
landed.
clear.
He landed on his stomach. He's like ducking under this.
I'm gonna go around it and look at Balin's eyes. Does he look like he's like under a spell?
So you want to actually go and turn him over?
No, I mean if he's no, I'm gonna run up to and like stand in front of him, like look into his eyes.
So
Front of him.
as you rush
And
past
Balin.
him, you notice that his back, like his clothes on his back, actually look singed.
I look back at the statue.
It's still
Is
there.
the statue, it's moving.
No,
I'm gonna do a
it's,
perception check.
it's still in
What?
the same position it was when you guys entered.
I'm gonna do a perception check to see if I see anything off or different about the statue or where the burning hair came from.
You didn't
like stepped
you
into a
didn't
trap.
see, like you were literally right next to him as he bolted out the door. You didn't see anything.
Right, but I'm looking around to see if there's like a trap or something he stepped on. Then
You can
Like,
you want to
if you-
check the floor in front of the statue?
I don't want to walk up to it from where I'm standing. I'm still
Also-
inside the house. I want.
It's from where you're standing. There's not much you can see. I mean, it looks like just floorboards.
Okay, I'm gonna produce flame and throw it at the statue and see if anything happens.
By the way, thank you so much, Shadzar and Unmade.
Not meant to
hosting
hurt
And
us.
you just set yourself and Balin on fire.
Thank you so much for hosting.
And I'm-
Sorry, what was it? What was the last thing you said?
I just did produce flame on the statue. I just wanted to light it up, like not burn it, but just like light the.
And now the whole house is on fire, and we have to run.
We're going to jail. breaking and entering, arson.
Well, there won't
No,
be
it's
any
okay.
evidence of breaking and
Yeah,
entering.
I've
Burn the
got
place
this
to the ground.
So you
I've already got the story spun in my head. We're good.
you start kind of singeing the fur on this statue, and that familiar burning scent kind of fills your nostrils as the hair on this creature start kind of charring and sizzling and smoking.
It's prone. It has a spine. Sorry. All right, I'm just gonna kind of stand there and look at what the hell's going on. I haven't moved because obviously something went down, which means there is a trap or a device of some sort that caused some to go down. So I'm not gonna move just so I don't trigger it. But I am also going to scan for any type of. Do I see any type of triggers, magic sigils? Do I see anything that would denote that there is a odd?
Do you want to how do you want to do that? Do you want to detect magic? Do you want to just perception?
Do we even have a detect magic? Is it Arcana? I guess.
It's Arcana.
Without
I'd like-
it'd be very hard for you to use Arcana without a kind of a grip on whatever's the magical item or thing itself. I mean,
I
the
guess
best you can
perception-
tell is there.
Insight.
The best you can tell is there's someone that is more powerful than you set up some sort of defense on this thing, and you have no idea whether there's more in this house.
Let's see. Yeah, at this point, I'm just gonna slowly back away and walk toward my crew that's outside. And just...
I'm not outside. I'm still
I was
standing
gonna
there.
say that.
Well, you're outside. You fell out the door, and if you
Yeah.
went to go find him, you're out the door.
Oh.
So, yeah, everybody's outside on the stoop. So I'm gonna slowly back away,
I'm gonna
scanning the environment as I go.
I'm gonna mumble to myself. I don't like it, and I'm gonna throw another produce flame on the chimera again.
Okay. Do you intend to just stand here and burn it until it the whole house is burned down? Or are you just gonna do that and walk away?
No. After I do that, I'll look at Balin and be like, "Are you okay? Do you need any healing?"
Yeah, Balin, you've kind of you've kind of shaken out of it a little bit, but you're still, you still have no idea what happened.
But this thing is still over me, right?
No, the fire kind of whooshed past you and out the door. And it's gone.
Sorry. I was under the impression that you were saying that the manticore had swooshed out, knocked me back, and had landed basically over me. That's why I
No.
wasn't-
It just
I thought I
lit
was
on
knocked
fire and out the door past you.
Okay. Much
An
clearer
illusion.
now. Thank you. An illusion probably wouldn't actually scorch me like that.
Unless
How
it's
much
an
weight
illusion
in it?
combined with a trap.
But I mean, just an illusion wouldn't do that. Anyway, so I will, gradually pull myself up and kind of try to shake off whatever bit of terror is left on me, and kind of look back in towards the manticore and see if it's still, off the pedestal a little bit, or whether it's returned to its location.
What happened to you?
You first.
Yeah, it's still there.
Still there, as in it's back on the pedestal where it was, or it's still one paw off, as though it's
No,
threatening
it's still where it was when you walked in.
me. Okay, so I thought it was attacking me. I saw it come to life and lurch towards me and blow a huge gout of fire across. It stings a bit, amazingly enough. Fire across your back. Who would have thought? You might want to stay away from that thing.
It's just a statue. I threw fire at it and it did nothing.
Go look it in the eye, then. Don't do that.
It has to be some kind of illusion or trap.
Probably, and that's probably what triggered it. So don't get too close,
So you want to leave the house alone?
or at least that. But without checking for any further kind of traps around the place. And by now, I think if someone was home, they would have come to pay us a visit and ask us why we were breaking into the home.
So what do you want to do then? This is just a lost effort.
If they were clever enough to set this trap, they're going to know we were here regardless.
It's very likely. They were going to know someone was here. Maybe not us.
So we're back to no leads.
Sort of. We still have leads. We just haven't run them all down yet.
All right,
So-
where do you want to go then?
Let's button this place up as best we can.
Okay, I'm gonna pick up some shrubs from like the nearby area and put them where I broke the glass. I just put them in front of the broken glass as if it was always like that.
Okay.
And then I go and I close the door, shut, and and the chimera could continue to burn. I don't care.
Yeah, it looks like the fur, that kind of, most of the fur on the outside is, like, has singed off, and the wings have started curling and stuff, but the actual thing itself didn't, like, catch fire and continue to burn.
Oh,
Melted it.
All right, so I mean, now it looks like no one was ever home, guys. So we'll just let's head to.
There's an
We
errant
could go-
squirrel.
We could go find the owner of the house in the city. They said he hangs out in the Merchants Guild or out in the fields. But it still doesn't make sense. What would drive him to want to have goblins attack the town? What is to be gained from all this?
Depends on what your business is. If you're in the business of construction, then the more damage that's caused, the more people have to come to you for resources.
Okay, well, let's go find him in town then and ask him.
Perhaps with a bit more subtlety than I had done it before. Maybe.
I don't know. I think your level of subtlety is spot on. And maybe we can also stop and get some ale, too.
I was actually going to say I'm still a bit shaky after the pussy boy back there, so an ale would do well, I think.
And after yesterday's experience, I think I can handle even more ale than I did before.
I bet you're wrong.
Only know if we find out. So I think we're gonna go
To the Rusty Dragon.
to the Rusty Dragon.
Okay. So you guys kind of collect yourselves. You try and catch your breath and make a little bit of sense of what's going on around you, but it's getting later into the afternoon, and you decide to leave the Manor Cliff behind and make your way back into town. As you kind of make your way back in, you guys go to the Rusty Dragon, your familiar hangout, and it is kind of still, it's almost a little after midday. It's actually probably like 2 in the afternoon right now. So was there anything you wanted to do there, or did you want to just pass time until
You mean at the
Rusty Dragon?
tavern? Well, I wanted to get at least an ale to try to steady the nerves after that little encounter, because that was a little bit freaky. And to tell Amiku that she's right, her father is a consummate asshole. And
We all cheer at the same time.
Yeah. Maybe we should ask Amiku about the Scorpio family,
Scorpio.
Scanetti family.
This is why you should take notes.
I couldn't spell that if I tried.
Don't worry.
starts with an SC and it ends with an I. That's really all you need to know.
The C family.
Scaschetti?
I need to
Scaschetti?
get a new mouse here because I'm trying to drag the players over and I can't single click. Alright,
So,
fuck
I
it.
recommend the
Fuck
Razor
it.
Naga. I love this mouse.
I have the Death Adder. It's breaking on me because they
There's one.
always do.
The new one's on sale.
This is a
right now.
This is a 2014.
Yeah.
Wow, really? I've had mine for like, Jesus, like 6, 7 years when they first put out the Naga. I don't know. I never tried to add it though.
2014. BC or AD? Never mind. Let's go.
But,
Is it a rock with some sticks shoved in it?
Exactly.
And you click, 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 click.
Anyway,
And some mouse balls taped to the bottom.
so you
Oh,
guys
sorry.
make your
An
way
actual
to
mouse.
you make your way to the Rusty Dragon.
Yes, we
let's,
do.
let's see if I can. There we go.
Which is where somebody suggested we go originally, but that's fine. Don't listen to the dwarf.
Sandrew is not here.
Okay. Good.
Did you
Wait,
guys?
was someone something?
All right. So you guys make your way into the Rusty Dragon. You kind of take your familiar seat over in the corner, and Ameku is now. This is the first time most of you have seen her kind of in her in her actual. Let me turn this off, and we'll turn
Close.
not clothes. I meant her actual bar mode, like actually
Yeah.
taking care of the bar.
Tavern keeper.
So there's a fire burning nearby. You can hear kind of people are talking and laughing. They're not really getting drunk or anything like that, but she's
Why the hell in a tavern?
what's up?
Then why are they in a tavern? That just
Well,
seems
they're
like
I mean most of them are
wrong attitude.
still don't have a place to work or or anything to do right now, so they're just kind of relieving their tensions by hanging out with the rest of the Sandpoint. But she sees you and she's kind of leaning on the bar. She says, like next to you, she says, "So I heard you went to visit the sheriff. Has he roped you into doing any jobs?" And she kind of pushes Lycon out from behind the bar. She says, "No, thank you. I'll take care of this."
Could I please have an ale? I need to steady my nerves a bit.
She says,
Okay, I brought 4 back for everybody at the table.
Thank you. Yes, we did speak to the sheriff briefly this morning. And, we're sent on a few errands, yes.
We met your father.
He is a prick. You are right. He is a prick.
I'm sorry to hear that. I hope at least I hope the circumstances were amicable.
But he told us to seek out the Scarnetti family. Possible association with the happenstances with the goblins, but apparently they were not home. So we came back here. We'll report to the sheriff eventually, but I needed something to calm my nerves a bit.
So do you have any everyone's talking about goblins in the town. People are frightened. There still might be some lingering around. Have you heard anything?
I've not heard any such rumors, but that would lead more towards things that are consistent with what I do for a living. I break things. I take a hammer and I turn things into paste. That's what I do. I do not do skulking around and trying to find out information that does not involve breaking someone's hands.
Well, I know you've lived a charming life until you got here, but hopefully there won't be too many pastings in town.
What about more of a jam or preserves, maybe a compote?
I'd leave that to the vendors.
Perhaps that would be for the best. Yes.
Speaking of vendors, what can you tell us of Mr. Scorpius? Scorpio.
Scarnetti.
Scarnetti.
Titus Scarnetti? What could you
Yeah.
want with him?
Your father, who is the most excellent of people that I've ever met, said that Titus Scarnetti is probably the one that has involvement with the goblins being here, and we should find him. So we walked past his house quite a distance out, and we could see all the lights were off. So we didn't go in or go anywhere near the house. Um, and then we figured we would ask you for more information.
Uh, I don't know. I don't know what there is to tell. Titus Scarnetti is the head of the family. He controls Sandpoint's mills and lumber industry. Uh,
So how would he benefit from burning the town down?
I can't imagine he would. Titus Scarnetti's more of a. How do I say it? He's. Well, let me put it this way. He controls the lumber mills, and the Valdemars, who are one of the other families in town, depend on his mills for their business, and he likes to exploit that fact. He's a bit of a quick to buy into industry and land that he thinks will give him an edge over someone else.
Why does your father not like him?
I don't imagine my father likes anyone.
He was quite adamant in why he did not like him, though, as if it was personal. But so you don't think that there's any value in us going and talking to Mr. Scarnetti?
I'm sure if you can find him, you could talk to him, but I doubt you'll wrench anything of interest out of him. He's probably not that loose-lipped. As for my father, well, no doubt his personal stake in it revolves around Alamon Scarnetti, Titus's father, the old head of the family when the city was founded. They came to Sandpoint from Cheliax, and their arrival was not amicable. It was actually rather violent.
Violent how?
I don't know the details. I never really pried into it that much. I just know that the older members of town, my father included, he was one who was here when the town was founded. They still really haven't forgotten or forgiven the Scarnetti family for that.
How did Almon Scarnetti die?
Disease, I think. I don't know. It's maybe on his gravestone. He's buried in the cemetery.
Who would benefit the most from goblins attacking the town and destroying the village?
And where were you on the night of September 23rd?
I don't think anyone would benefit from Sandpoint being destroyed. I don't.
Goblins.
I can't imagine anyone benefiting from that.
Okay, so let me rephrase that. If if Sandpoint was to be viewed as a dangerous town where travelers and merchants didn't come as frequently, who would profit? The banks? Other merchants in other towns? The mayor? The religious groups?
I assume the merchants in Magnamar would get a bit more wealthy, but
Didn't you say and then I look at Balin and I say didn't the really friendly dude say that Scorpio's wife was from Magadar? And actually, the whole
That
family's
she
from.
was likely in Magnamar, right?
Didn't she say like their whole family's from there as well?
Well, all the noble families have houses and relatives in Magnamar. My family has a manor there, though. No one.
So you would
uses it.
benefit. So you could benefit from the goblins attacking.
Well, no one lives there. I don't know if you realize my family is just myself and my father these days.
So you would be rich if your father was to go to jail, and you were to inherit everything that's left over.
I kind of
doubt
reach
that.
over and very gently put my hand on his shoulder, be like, easy with the accusations.
I'm trying to solve the case. This is the first time.
I understand. Just slow down. You're rushing ahead of your own logic.
She says, I'd be surprised if my father left me even a written insult in the will.
But okay, we've lost Lyca. Wandered off.
I don't know. I'm just gonna. I don't know.
She says, it seems like you're all racking your brains very hard trying to learn everything there is to learn about this town. Maybe you should work with the sheriff and focus on trying to make everyone more safe. I assume if anyone's going to make a move, there's not much you can do by just asking questions. I mean, do you really think someone in town was involved with the goblin attacks? Is it necessary that someone in town was involved?
I break things. This is what I do. I am hammer and blade, that's all. But our next course of action was to return to the sheriff and tell him what we learned, which is not much, but perhaps he can give us a direction before we continue to sit here floundering.
I say we go to the sheriff. I'm cool with that. Let's go.
Alright, so you guys put your mugs down on the table and you excuse yourself from the tavern. And as you walk back into the city, I am just going to see if I can grab this and move this here. Come on. Yeah.
Zoom.
Alright. So as you guys make your way, let me collect you, over to or across town as it's getting dark. You make your way over to the sheriff.
Number 10.
At the barracks. It's kind of getting late into the afternoon, and you can actually you can see that the sheriff is he's actually outside in the yard. He looks like he's kind of overseeing some some spear and sword drills with what looks like some very hastily equipped townsfolk that are probably forming a makeshift militia of some kind.
Now this, I can help. And so I'll walk over, and do the instructors look like they know what they're doing?
There's like one guard and the sheriff, and that's about it.
Doesn't quite answer my question.
He's kind of just giving very, very basic kind of lessons on handling a sword, just on like a wooden dummy.
Okay. Well, I would like to lend my aid to, because I imagine he's probably not accustomed to dealing with a fairly large class of people and can't watch everyone as closely as he should. So I'm going to go over and help him teach people and show them, your baldric is buckled incorrectly. You've got to buckle it like this, or otherwise it's going to fall right off when you do a shoulder swing.
Okay.
Just that sort of, this I feel comfortable with. Well, this Balin feels comfortable with, and so he's going to go and try to help with that, and in the process get over near the sheriff and start explaining what happened, short of the breaking and entering part.
All right, give me 1 second.
And so that's what we did. Good, because I got to go pee. So take a very long second.
All right, I will take that second.
Good. I'll be back in a minute.
Give me 2 seconds. I gotta get my notes straight to me. Yeah. I got that.
See, not just us with no notes. I mean, you've got notes, but whatever.
I've got notes.
I-
I've got my character name written here. I've got
a
your
C sharp
names.
Okay.
and a D flat.
La 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 la.
All right. So you guys are you kind of walk into the yard and you see Balin kind of jumps in, kind of helping out. Did you want to talk to the sheriff? Kind of looks over and he nods. He says, how's the investigation going? Have you found anything?
We know that Amiko's father is a bit of a cur. And no. No. What can you tell us about the Scarnetti, or the Scarnetti family? Titus in particular.
Well, the family's one of the heads of the Sandpoint Mercantile League. They run a lot
Let me
of...
stop right there. What can you tell us about the more questionable side of the Scarnetti family, since you're the sheriff and you want us to investigate? We've learned all the basics of these families from the people, but what are your suspicions?
Give me a second and I will tell you.
Okay, are we all dead?
Yes.
Thank God.
I accidentally stabbed him in the ear, and then as I was pulling the dagger out, slit your throat, and then I fell on it. So
That's perfect.
it was epic.
I always figured Balin would die of a slit throat. That's good.
He says, well, what I can tell you is, shit, okay. He says,
Shit. Yeah, we saw some of that when Balin fell out of the house, and
Seen some shit, yo.
he says, there's really not much of a shady side to the Mercantile League. What I can tell you is, we've considered, or I have considered, Titus Scarnetti to be connected with some of the less savory characters that one might find generally lurking at the feed bag. Balin, you would have heard about the Fat Man's feed bag. It's at least at some point in your stay in Sandpoint. It's probably the more notorious tavern in town, whereas the Rusty Dragon is probably the most famous with outsiders, and the Hagfish is probably the most famous in town by reputation. The feed bag, you heard, you heard a lot of stories about sort of very common bar fights and things there. Overall, it's kind of more of a rough and tumble place.
Mm-hmm.
And the sheriff says, that place is a particularly outburst-prone crowd. I have to go down there 2 or 3 times a week to clear things up. It's the tavern is owned by or operated by a man named Gressel Tenoir, but we're fairly sure that a small Cesarni faction operates out of there. I believe, or at least in my mind, the Scarnettis have connections to them, but nothing I can prove. Why do you ask? What do you think's going on?
I presume you asked him this question. Because I don't think I asked anything.
Yeah, so Xantor asked him, about kind of the shadier side of either the Mercantile League or the Scarnetti family.
Well, Xantar's in the bathroom right now. So,
And where is this? What was it called again?
Fat Man's Feed Bag.
It's
Feed
all
bag.
the way. It's all the way south. It's on the docks. I wouldn't
Why
suggest.
haven't we been hanging out at this bar?
I wouldn't suggest it.
Not even the sort of place that I would want to hang out at. And it's much more in line with what I used to do. Do you think we might find any leads there?
Leads involved with the goblins.
Or whatever it is. If the goblins is the only thing you want us searching out, then clearly the discussion that we had with Longigo did not go anywhere. It led nowhere. There was nothing to that. So if you have another recommendation for a place that we can look,
I don't suspect, or at least knowing their operations and their motives, I wouldn't suspect the Scarnettis or even the Cesarni of releasing goblins into town to destroy property. They're not generally that violent or that ambitious. If they did, my first instinct would be that someone somewhere got relieved of a possession of value amidst the chaos, but we've had no reports come forward. We've had no one claiming anything was lost. My primary concern is how and why the goblins got into the town, and if they're going to come back.
I suppose I killed some of them too quickly.
If you could wrench an answer out of one of them, that'd be a sight to see.
And we do know the direction they escaped in.
At least one of them.
He says, "Oh shit! I still have the thing playing. Let me let's just turn that down." So you do have the you guys are kind of just taught, like he says, the way, or my theory, at least for the moment, is that someone, I can't help but come back to the timing. The festival is regular, but there have been festivals before. If someone was to plan a goblin attack, they could do it any day of the year, and they would probably have to worry about less people being in town, and thus less motivated guardsmen and visitors. So the date seems very suspicious to me. The date being the festival in which we opened our brand new cathedral. Seems like nothing, but my thoughts drift to the last time the cathedral was destroyed. It was with fire, and it was 5 years ago today, or not 5 years ago today, but about 5 years ago. So whoever planned this could possibly have had something either against the new cathedral or just something related to the unpleasantness from back then.
I will freely admit that I am not in any way, shape, or form bound to any specific deity. I am not a spiritual man. However, this does raise the question for me. This cathedral is dedicated to whom again?
Desna is the primary deity, but we have shrines to Gozra, Sarenrae.
Who is opposed to Desna? Which god in particular?
You'd have to ask Father Xantus. I'm not particularly strong in my religious lore.
It's all right. I can relate to that. That's fun. Hmm.
He says, I hope, my deepest hope, is that whatever we're looking at is not connected to the events of 5 years ago, because no one, neither myself, nor you, nor anyone in this town, wants to see the chopper return again.
Yes, yes. That is likely very, very true. Yes. Okay. So then it has apparently the goblins in particular have something to do with the cathedral, supposedly. If it does, then should talk to Father Person guy.
Xantus will,
That's the one.
either I or Xantus can tell you what we know about the events of 5 years ago. I was just a guard. Averin Casp was the sheriff. Xantus was an acolyte under the old priest, Father Tobin. He says,
What?
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. He says, I'm trained, as you can see, I'm equipping and training some men to aid on the walls as soon as possible. But in my head, I think it won't be enough if there's more to come on the horizon. I fear I may have to call in a favor very soon, but that I
Favor
haven't
from
decided yet. Don't worry about it. It's my business. What is there anything you need to know? Anything you think we should focus on right now?
To that point, yes, I have something. These people, you're training them to work on the walls with swords. This makes no sense. I would say focus their fighting on range weaponry, something that is going to prevent the enemy from even getting to the walls. Don't neglect their hand-to-hand skills. Definitely you want to do that. But if you're going to teach them how to use a sword, teach them how to parry at the very least. Parrying will keep them alive until someone can come to help them. But don't worry about teaching them to kill with a sword. Focus on that with bows, crossbows, that sort of thing. Keep anything from getting to the walls to begin with. And if anything does get to the wall, let these people know how to parry and keep themselves alive. Don't worry about killing yet. That said, what were you going to say?
I don't think he was going to say anything.
Chris, he was looking at you. What you were going to say?
Yes, I was.
That me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Nothing at this point. My question was already deflected.
Oh. Which one was it? Oh, right. Yes, the one that he deflected.
Guard.
He says
Or parried. You could say it was parried.
He says, I wish we had more to go on, but it seems that at the moment we're simply just waiting for the next storm to come in. I would suggest if you intend to help help this town and the rest of my guards, stay here, find a place to rest, and be prepared for whatever comes next. There will be opportunities to help, but if there is nothing to do at this moment, my other suggestion is the people in town have been whispering about the events of the festival. They consider the men who stood up against the goblins to be heroes to some extent. Don't shy away. Show your face around town. Let them know that let them believe that they are safe and protected. If nothing else, we want to stave off a panic until it's appropriate to for them to start panicking.
That is almost never appropriate, but all right.
Well, if we can keep them from believing that no one is protecting them, then things should be a bit calmer.
So just keep lying to everybody.
No, but I would say these little training classes you're having, move them outside these walls of the barracks, move them out where people can see, so they can see other people, other members of the community, just like them, who are learning to fight as well. You want to inspire hope in people, give them a reason.
I'll do that. I'll move our training grounds to the market square.
All right.
As for you, the day's been long, and it looks like you're all a bit tired. I'd suggest you get your rest. We'll see if we can't dig deeper tomorrow.
Right.
Drinks at the bar.
Can you heal my back?
I can heal your back. I'm gonna do cure wounds on his back.
All right. Do any of you? So as you exit the barracks, and he goes back to kind of directing the men. Did you have any business you wanted to attend to, or did you just want to go straight to the bar and kind of drink your cares away for the night?
Oh, I just healed Balin's
I
back.
I got it. It's fine.
Okay.
I saw.
It's 3 points is exactly what I needed, so perfect.
I timed it perfectly. I'm cool with accelerating to the next day, the next morning.
I am
The bar.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just wanted to get. So you guys all get in your drinking, specifically to kind of shake off the. Whoa. What's Adam? Just gotta mute yourself, because we're getting that feedback. There we go. So you guys all get your drinks in. You, for a little while, you manage to kind of forget your troubles and all of the kind of dire news that's been swirling around your head as you engage with some of the tavern patrons. They're coming back. There's even people kind of standing on the little stage trying to tell stories to earn their drinks and win the favor of the crowd, which is pretty much how the Rusty Dragon operates as normal. So it looks like things are settling back into somewhat of a rhythm. Eventually, you guys all very groggily, some of you a little bit more hungover than others, you guys all you kind of wake up in the morning, and I guess you start gathering your stuff and making your way downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
As the first of you is making your way down the stairs, you hear you're pretty familiar because you've stayed in the Rusty Dragon before. It tends to be pretty empty in the first thing in the morning, save for Ameko and maybe her halfling maid kind of cleaning up and doing stuff. But you hear kind of a very an emotional sobbing coming from the tavern room.
He instinctively knows who it is.
Yeah, do I know who it is?
Are you are you trying to listen, or are you just walking downstairs?
I'm trying to listen.
Okay, so you're at the top of the stairs. You can just make out. You can the crying doesn't sound familiar, but you can make out among the between the kind of breaths and among the sobs. It's Ameko's voice. She's very softly trying to calm down whoever is crying.
But I can't make out what they're saying.
She just seems she's just kind of saying uh, it'll be all right, Amel. I'm sure he's fine. Just we'll find someone to help. We'll get the sheriff.
What's the gnome barmaid's name, or the halfling, whatever she is?
Oh God, I forget her name.
From the moment, we'll call her Angie.
Oh, Bathana Corwin.
Bathana. Okay. So, as Balin's walking downstairs, Bathana, eggs, sausage, bacon, that honey bread that you guys have that I like better. Could I have some of that, please?
So as you're kind of walking down, Bathana is you make your way down the stairs and you see both her and Ameko are actually they're standing. Ameko is kind of leaning down, kneeling down in front of this woman who is sitting on one of the stools. Just you can see she's just crying into her hands. She has cradled into her arms. She has what appears to be a baby, and there's a young boy that's kind of just sitting next to her. And both Bathana and Ameko are kind of there trying to console her. They both kind of look over to you, and Ameko kind of gives you an eyebrow, and then she says,
"That would be a no for the moment." Okay.
I'm gonna walk over and I'm gonna to the sobbing lady. I'm gonna try to charm her and be like, "Is everything okay? Maybe we can help. I'm a healer."
Give me 1 second. So let me find a No, I'm looking for.
You're trying to kill my baby.
How do you get a 0?
He has a -1 to his charisma.
So you kind of Ameko says
You get arrested for
No,
soliciting a child and taken to the.
you walk over to her and Ameko says what is wrong with you? She's can't you see she's in a bad state?
Yeah, I'm trying to fix her disposition. Is she a cur also?
She says, just not right now, please. And you see the woman kind of looks up at you and her eyes are just red.
You know I can fix that, right?
Ameko literally just shoves you away. And kind of goes back to consoling this woman.
What does this mean? We won't get any eggs?
Glance down at Lycon what the hell? Okay.
I'm just gonna go back to sipping the mug of ale I stole from behind the bar.
Oh.
Because she was too concerned with her grieving friend to notice.
Mm-hmm.
You realize it's 9 in the morning.
I'm a dwarf and I'm still rather depressed.
He's the dwarf. There's no problem with that. I'm gonna go walk over and be like, "Can I get one?"
I'm already at the table with you guys. I'm not over there anymore.
Oh.
Then I guess I will walk over and kind of grab one of the chairs from a nearby table, kind of pull it over, sit down, lean over, and kind of looking more towards Amiku than the young lady with the wee babe and her wee man next to her. And I shouldn't do that. I'm going to start speaking in Scottish if I try to. Speaking in Scottish? It kind of is. Anyway. Miko, I do not mean to interrupt, and by no means do I mean any disrespect to you and your friend. Is there anything that perhaps you mentioned getting the sheriff? Should one of us go?
She says,
or is there something that we can do to help?
She says, Amel came early in the morning, late last night. She says her husband is still at their house. Their son was saying there was a goblin in his closet, and the husband went to or stayed behind to take care of it, and he hasn't returned.
I turn to the young boy. I say, so you're the one who found the goblin in your closet?
He kind of like his eyes are kind of wide, and he looks visibly shaken, but he's just kind of slowly nodding. He says,
Hmm. And I will.
I gotta fucking find a way to mute Skype's noises.
Oh,
Sorry.
set yourself to do not disturb. It'll do it.
Okay, I'll do that.
That's why mine is always set that way, so it doesn't whoop when I'm recording something. So I'm going to glance over at Xantor. You know, my friend over there, he can give you what looks like a regular little stick, but it's actually a magical stick that will help to protect you from goblins. Do you want one?
He just kind of very slowly.
If you're nodding or something, I can't see. I'm going to have to wait for that.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
he's nodding his head up and down. I assume you guys were looking at Roll20.
Well, I can't. Oh, right. I can see you. No, Roll20's over there, and I'm looking at the camera. Anyway, so wait right here. I'll be right back. And I kind of give the young lady who's holding the babe a soft pat on the knee and just kind of wink and walk over to Xanthor and say, "Can you, druid, craft me a small branch about that long with small leaves on it?"
Yeah. What are you gonna do with it?
I'm trying to calm this boy's nerves, to make him a little more stout of spirit. So I'm going to. I told him that you would be able to provide him with a magical defense against goblins. There is apparently, he says, he found a goblin in his closet, in his room, and his father has stayed back to take care of it. They have not seen him yet. I want to try to shore up this boy's mind so he's not so easily frightened, while we perhaps go and check in on the father. If there is a goblin, we deal with it as we have the last of it.
I have my druidic focus that he can hold on to, and then I reach into my pouch and I hand him.
Which cantrips do you have right now?
Poison spray and produce flame.
Okay. Never mind. Well, those are your first level spells, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about your cantrips, the ones.
No, those are my cantrips. Sorry.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
those are my no, hold
right,
on.
because your cures are the ones you have at first.
Well, cantrips, poison spray, and produce flame. Entangle and cure wounds are my spells.
Gotcha. Okay. I was hoping you had druid craft, because then you could just,
make something.
Yeah, something simple.
But I mean, I do have Steve from earlier, and then I kind of bend.
Pick a thing.
What? Pick a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. All right. So I take the shrubbery that I've been holding onto before, and I'm gonna kind of twist it and bend some of the twiggy parts, and to make it look almost similar to my druid focus, and then I'm gonna spin on it and be like, "You could give him this."
Thank you so much. I'm sure this will be. And as I turn my back and walk back towards the kid, I'm gonna kind of use the front of my tunic to sort of wipe off some of the spit and take it back to him. At least it made the leaves shiny.
All right.
Hold on to this, but don't tell anyone you have it. It's very secret, very powerful.
He kind of takes it and just like staring at you, just very slowly, like kind of just shakes his head. The mother is kind of sobbing. She says, like, she kind of grabs the edge of your shirt, like this hem, and she's just like, You need to go see if my husband is all right.
That's where we're going next. Where do you live?
She says, just up the road, near the mill.
I'll kind of glance sidelong at Amiku, like, where is that?
She says, Amigo says, she whispers, I'll tell you.
We shall do this. Try to take slow, deep breaths. Be calm. Tend your children. We will look for your husband.
She kind of like nods and like lets go of your shirt, but continues sobbing, like clutching Ameko, as you kind of walk away and over to the group.
Yep.
All right.
I believe we have goblins to kill. If you gentlemen are interested, of course.
I'm actually getting pretty good at this whole goblin killing thing, and a lot of the animals are also needing our protection. So yeah, let's go.
All right.
Let's go kill something.
All right.
Young Master Dwarf.
Because talking doesn't seem to do anything for me. Plus, I need to get Steve back when we're done.
All right. So Ameko will kind of quickly give you instructions, basically telling you, which street to go up to get to the house right by the mill. And you guys want to make your way over there?
Yes.
All right. Let me grab your tokens real quick.
Okay.
Here. Nope, that's not what I want.
I think this is probably a bit of how Travis Willingham feels during Critical Role when he knows that Grog is not smart enough to figure this stuff out. And so he basically just has to wait for a fight to start before he feels useful. So I think that's... Yeah.
All right, give me 1 second. Okay. So you guys are making your way up the street. And you are here. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to be...
You are here. No, you're not. You're here.
Yeah.
Nope, here.
Though Kismet is not with you because she's off doing something. So you guys are coming up the street, and you can see the house that you're intended to go to.
Right. Door is open, I
The
presume?
door is closed.
Really? Interesting. She had the wherewithal to close the door as she was running. All right.
Well, you remember her husband went back in.
Well, still. Okay. So, no breaking and entering this time, shall we? And I'll walk up and just bang on the door as loud as I can.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Got a scout cookies.
All right. So you move your token. You move your guy up.
Oh, yeah.
And
Guess I could have done that.
yeah, and you knock on the door. There is no answer.
Big surprise.
Are you talking, Adam? Because your lips are moving, but no sound's coming.
Yeah.
I was talking.
Oh,
I was
sorry.
saying, wait, it's cool. I got a rock, and then I just pick up a rock and I just throw it at the window.
Which
Okay.
rock is he throwing at? Which window is he throwing the rock at?
There's really only one that he can see on the front of the house.
Okay, so he's got to throw past me to hit that window, right? Because I'm gonna swat it out of the air.
He can walk. Like if he wants to.
No, I'm just gonna. I'm gonna swat the rock down. As I said, no breaking and entering.
Oh, fine. It's just like I don't. And then I'm gonna try the door.
Okay,
I'm
you guys
gonna try to
can move your tokens, by the way.
Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna try.
I'm guessing the black parts are like the fog of war.
That's the area you can't see.
Okay.
So
there's a window in front of that pub. What the?
It's a garden.
Is that an outhouse at the bottom?
Yeah, there's an outhouse and there's trees
Like
and
right
stuff.
there. That's an outhouse.
Yes, that's an outhouse.
Okay.
So Xantor, you try the door. It is open.
See,
Muted. Drink.
Still muted.
Wow.
Okay, there
Drink
you go.
again.
I was like, I don't have anything to drink right now. Let me try again.
Well, you made me drink twice, so thanks.
I'll go get a beer after this. I'm gonna open the door and kind of do perception to see if I see anything in the immediate surrounding.
Okay, so you creak the door. Do you want to open it all the way, or do you want to open it just a little bit?
I'm gonna push it all the way open.
Okay. So you let me just check. This should be closed here, and this should be closed here. So you throw the door open. You are looking in what appears to be a small house. You can see like there's basically a family common room / dining room that you're looking into, and there are a couple other doors that lead off a short hallway.
One story, I presume.
Yeah, it's only one. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna go this way and look in this window. Do I see anything?
You have dark vision, right?
Yeah, I'm a dwarf.
Okay. As you peer into the window, you see a very large bed. It appears to have been to be unmade. There doesn't appear to be any sign. It's clearly a master bedroom, but there's no people in there.
Is the window locked, or do these windows open at all? Or are they just
They don't really
built into
open. They don't really open.
Okay.
Can I do a perception check to see if I hear anything or listen for anything?
Yeah, you can listen. By the way, you don't have to ask if you can do a perception check. Just tell me what you're gonna do, and I'll tell you whether you need a check or not, and what kind of check you need. So yeah, just worry about what you. I'm
gonna listen for any signs of struggle or goblin Can you do the sound, Balin?
Probably. Yeah.
Probably.
Goblin doing what?
The goblin talking.
Oh, that. Okay. I thought you were talking about a goblin taking a crap, and that sounds very different than a goblin talking. Not much different. They both have a bit of sound to them, but if he's taking a crap, it usually ends in, So, yeah, I know. That's why I wasn't going to do that one, and why I wanted to know what sound you wanted. Sorry, please continue.
So you wanna try and listen for any sounds coming?
Yes.
Perception check.
Yes! I hear the entire fucking town.
It is very quiet in this house.
Oh, god damn it. I think it's clear, guys. I don't hear anything at all.
Alright, then I'm going to push past gently. Move into about here.
Okay. Let me, I'm going to give you a torch.
Reveal!
There. Now you can see shit. Okay. So Balin, you make your way into this family room here. There is stuff kind of disturbed, but doesn't look like there's much sign of a struggle in this room. There are 2 closed doors.
Alright, well, I will step up and listen at this door here.
Alright, roll me a perception check.
Fire plus. I gotta figure out where I put my character sheet. Ding. $18.
Alright. You hear, let me pop this out real quick. You hear very, very little. There might be a faint noise coming from the door ahead of you, but you can't really make out what it is. It doesn't sound like any movement. It doesn't sound like anything, it doesn't sound like anything making noise, really. It's more like a faint tapping.
Okay. Well, before we came in, I saw Lycon running off that direction, so, or at least toward that window. So I will presume that may be him, and I really don't want anything coming up behind me, so I'm clearing this room first.
Okay.
So I will open this door.
All right, the one directly above you.
Correct.
All right, you creaking it open, or you throwing it open?
Does it open in or out? Which side of the hinge is
It
on?
opens in.
Okay, so the hinge is on the inside.
Yeah.
Do
Do you want to open the door slowly, or do you want to just open it in one shot?
Foot to the door. Bam.
Well, given what we're potentially dealing with, I'm going to open it with some force, yeah.
All right. So you throw the door open. You hear it kind of slam against the wall, the stone wall. And as it does, you are looking into a small room. The first thing that you notice is there is an unmade bed, or a disturbed bed. This is clearly the room of a child, by the way. There's a disturbed bed nearby, and at the foot of it is sort of what you can just make out by its shape and the bloody fur is the ruined form of a small dog. Directly beyond that, you can see a man is lying on the floor, like face down on the floor, with pretty much his entire torso and upper body inside inside the closet at the far end of the room.
I was like, what the hell was that? Okay, I know what that was. I didn't have to look.
So what do you want to do?
Lycon, get in here quickly. Xantor.
Hey, what's up?
Did you open the window for me? Because
No, I haven't opened the door yet.
I'll go over and open the window for him.
The window I told you the window doesn't open. You could literally take 2 seconds and walk around the side. It would
I don't know. I'm a dwarf. Isn't that like I'm short? Oh wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, it is.
I'm sorry. I saw the.
You don't
okay.
do that.
Sorry.
No, I mean, if there's dynamic lighting, don't walk through it. It's not. That's not how it's meant to be. Meant to happen.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will step up here and look to the closet.
Real quick though,
Mm-hmm.
don't move your token unless I know what you're doing, because when you're in a map, there might be things in that map, and if you just throw your token everywhere, kind of defeats the point.
But he just called us, so we ran into
I
the
understand.
room.
I'm just saying, like, you're zipping all over the map. That's what I'm saying. Just chill. It's fine. We'll move we'll get there. Okay. So as you rush in, Lycon, you're kind of jogging up behind. Balin, you're coming over. Xantor, you kind of rush into this door, and you can see at your feet is the slashed and chopped up form of this very small dog. Balin, you're kind of looking into this closet, and you can see that the man is kind of on his belly, almost as if he'd kind of crawled into this closet. But it looks like his head and his shoulders are actually in what appears to be a hole that has been broken into the floor.
I'm going to draw my battle axe and motion to Xantor, help me pull this away, and grab the belt of the man's body, but keeping my eye on that hole. And
I'm gonna help him.
Go ahead.
I was gonna help you take the body to the bed, and then looking at the slashed dog, I'm gonna say this poor animal needs to be given a little burial spot.
In a moment, we have deeper concerns for right now.
These poor creatures.
I can't see in this hole very well.
I can help with that. I can cast produce flame and drop it in the hole.
You'd probably torch the body.
No, we just pulled the body
That's
away.
why we're moving the body away.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you kind of you grab his collar or his shoulder to kind of pull the body out. Do you want to turn them over, or do you want to just do you want?
Yeah, and I'm going to clear that hole. I don't
Okay.
like things jumping out of holes at me.
So as
Deal
you
with him in a minute.
as you pull back the body, you find that like basically what kind of rolls over to face you is a face that has been stripped of all of its skin and most of the flesh. It looks like something has chewed this face like to bits. And it's like the face and most of the neck appear to have been like eaten away. And as you are hauling back on this and you're kind of turning to Xantor to talk, you hear a shriek in rage as a goblin, sword out, comes ramping out of the hole with his sword in hand and is lunging right at you, Balin. And it is right there. And as that happens, as this thing comes flying out of this hole, dead body still in hand, that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
Ah! Okay.
So that is going to be our session for the evening. Kind of a lot of exposition, a lot of information about Sandpoint, and maybe what's kind of bubbling under the surface here going on tonight. And
No pun intended.
yeah, and it looks like there might still be goblins in the city. So how will the players deal with this? Who knows? We will have to wait till next week to find out. Thank you so much, by the way, to everyone who's been hanging out in chat, everyone who watched us, to all the awesome dudes who gave us hosts through the show. You guys are great. Shadzar, Brad Wodo, Nerd Immersion, Unmade Gaming. You guys are awesome. And we are going to we're gonna wrap this up in just a second. But before we do, I want to get a quick thank you to my players. As always, you guys are great, and I hope we didn't get too much trouble without Ashley. So we'll see whether she approves when she's back. But before we get going, why don't we just start in the same order and have everyone remind us of where they can find you guys, who you are, and let me turn his mute on. Where they can find you guys, who you are, and what kind of stuff you get up to during the week. We'll start over here with Mr. Trending. It's right here.
Okay. My name's that's not my name. Sorry. Anyway, my name's Trend Sparks, or Trendane, pretty much everywhere, at Trendane on Twitter. I am a professional voice actor and audiobook narrator, which is hopefully what I will be doing at some point this week. I've been talking to the audiobook that I'm narrating right now. I have asked the author if he would be okay with me live streaming the editing of chapter 1. So you get to see how an audiobook is made, and you get to learn a little bit about the story, hopefully whet your appetite. And possibly drum up some advertisement for the book as well. And aside from that, games and commercials, and the wind is still picking up here. That's very cool. I just wish it would rain. And on to our illustrious druid.
Yeah, Adam, what
was muted.
What kind of stuff do you get up to on the internet when you're not playing over here?
Mainly porn.
Yeah.
And Chris, take it away.
Yeah. Do you have any recommendations, like sites, or at least you could drop? Like, we need a link to something.
Oh, I could drop.
I wouldn't go there.
Sites, I could inundate you with sites. Chris and I actually we're in the process of hosting a streaming show, Totally Tweaked. That's we focus on games both on PC and Xbox One, while we also teach you about various drinks. When we're doing the show, we'll usually pick either a unique beer, bourbon, whiskey, gin, you name it, and we'll talk about it.
I have a suggestion for you then. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, okay, cool. Also, I'm writing slowly a book And Ashley's not here to.
I was going to say I'll be Ashley. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then beyond that, no, that's pretty much it. What were you going to recommend?
It's a shot, actually. It is 1/4 Frangelico,
Mm.
3/4 top shelf vodka, and on a plate off the side is a sugar-coated lemon wedge. And you squeeze the lemon juice and sugar into your mouth, and you hold it and throw the shot in with it, let it mix, and you swallow it. It tastes exactly like German chocolate cake. It is freaky as hell, and it is incredibly delicious, which is why it is called delicious chocolate cake. It is very good.
I will have to try that. That does sound very good.
It's very good.
Okay. Hold on. I'm Chris. You can take it away. I'm stepping away 1 quick second.
All right.
Like Adam said, we're working on our own stream. Hope to have that up at some point, but some of us are still waiting to, have houses built and not live with their in-laws, which would make things a lot easier. But he didn't actually say the name of it. It's Totally Tweaked.
He did.
Totally.
He just didn't spell it.
TWEEKD. Not doing a whole lot right now. We just kind of do a little bit of random stuff, but we are working on getting more of a format and a schedule down at some point. Other than that, we just kind of do a little bit of everything. Hang out online, video games, books, D&D, comics, usual.
Awesome.
And beer. And Newcastle.
That is, you need that. I mean, don't ever do anything without that. As always, guys, my name is Askren. I'm the host and the Dungeon Master here, and I help you guys get up to awesome D&D stuff. So let me just, before we bounce out of here, a couple items of business. One, as always, don't forget that I have a talk show on this channel. It's every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's called, wow, Northern Winds is really loud right now. It's called Fuzzy Dice, and I hang out with awesome people. Last week I hung out with the Shannon, the curator of the D20 Babes show, and also we had a surprise appearance by Curtis Webb, the writer for Rat Queens, and it was cool. This week I will be hanging out with the guys from Dead Gentlemen, the producers of the Gamers movies, and also some of the stars and producers of the new Gamers series that's going to be coming out soon. So they're going to be coming on and hanging out and talking about stuff.
Rat Queens.
How much
got
experience
nominated
do
for
I
a
get for the
Hugo.
farmer?
Yeah.
Rat Queen's got what?
Sorry.
Got nominated for a Hugo.
Oh, cool.
They didn't win.
Well.
Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel won, but it deserves it. So.
Well, Curtis Webb is really cool, and he was taking care of their daughter, but he stopped by for like 30 minutes at the end of the show. It was really cool. He's a cool guy. And what else? Oh, as soon, if you guys haven't already followed me on Twitter, you definitely should, because I'm like 10 followers. I think 10 followers. I have to check. Away. Let me check right now. What are we at? We're like 15 followers away from 1,000 on Twitter, which means I will be running a giveaway where you guys can win a one-shot of D&D DM'd for you and your friends by me, and I will DM for you, and we will talk about what we're going to play, and it'll be a lot of fun. So follow me on Twitter if you haven't. It's just @Askren. I will post that in the chat, social. Before we do, and as always, if you haven't, Patreon, consider supporting the show on Patreon, helping to fund us buying better stuff. It says new mic over there. I already bought a new mic, so the rest of the money will probably be going to other subscriptions, like maybe Battle Bards. I'm thinking, I don't know. I'll have to work it out. But anyway, there's cool rewards, things that can help you engage with the game and make your experience and our experience even better. So before we get out of here, I am going to continue the tradition that is not really a tradition, but we're going to be hosting another channel. I think we're gonna hook back up with Nerd Immersion, who hosted us before. So we're gonna be hosting them. If you guys want to, feel free to jump in their chat and hashtag Exploding Dice Raid. Tell them that you that I sent you, and let them, show them the love. We like to host other channels and just make friends. Nerd Immersion and all those guys are real cool, and they support us. So thank you as always for playing. Tune in on Tuesday for more. My Mondays may be free, so I may be doing a map Monday tomorrow. Who knows? Also, other shows coming up in the future. I will tell you, I'm doing an exclusive thing. We're actually working it out. I'm going to be doing an exclusive broadcast of one of Experience Points' episodes. Probably, I think there might be their finale, but I don't know. But yeah, we're doing the only place that you can see the episode is here on Exploding Dice, and that'll be September 1st.
That's not far away.
Yeah, no, it's not. So all kinds of cool stuff. Check the Twitter for more. And I'm going to just give a link for roll. Let me just type this in. So go here.
Do this.
Type
This
hashtag Exploding Dice Raid. Have fun. Alright, so I'm going to send that as soon as we get off here. We're going to start hosting them. Thank you as always to everyone who followed. Thank you to everyone who came to visit. And as always, don't let Dice Thulu get his tentacles on you, because he might eat your face off and bury you in a closet. Alright, we'll see you around, guys. Take care.
Be careless.